the Associated Press. For all three of you, what has the last 16 hours been like? Have your phones blown up and such?
I think there's been a lot of support from like our community, obviously. Last night we definitely took that in, and then this morning we've woken up, it's a new page turned, focused on West Virginia, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of celebration, community love, but definitely is a lot of texts going like on to the next, we're on to the next thing.
Good.
Agree.
P, for any of you, how do you kind of balance and transition the emotional high of winning that first tournament game to refocusing on tomorrow's game and kind of just staying even keeled?
Yeah, I think it's like very similar to even like Selection Show Sunday. Obviously, you go through that emotional high with making the tournament when you don't get that automatic bid. So I think kind of taking the same approach. Obviously, we're excited about last night, and like they both said, there's been a ton of support from our community, but at the same time, like we're ready to go and start preparing for West Virginia. They're a good team, and we're locked in on that right now.
We'll go down here to the middle.
Hey, Jillian Prince here, the Columbia Daily Spectator. What jumps out at you guys about this West Virginia team, and what kind of lessons are you going to take from Washington yesterday, especially against a team with another, like some larger players?
Kitty, why don't you start?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think West Virginia, it's very clear they're a really good defensive team, so it's going to be a really good battle of two really good defensive teams. I think from yesterday, just sticking to the game plan from the beginning, I think at the beginning we, missed a couple easy looks and we let that dictate how we were playing, so not being outcome-oriented, being much more focused on just like the things we can control. But yeah, like I said, their defense is going to try to fuel them, so we just have to be ready for that.
Perry, anything to add?
Absolutely. I think just not feeding into like what they want us to do, so making sure that we're executing our game plan to the way that we want to and dictate our offense with their defense.
We'll come down to the left.
Daniel Woods, WV Metro News. For any of you, on a quick turnaround like this, how hard is it to prepare for pressure like West Virginia is going to throw at you?
Cecilia, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a different team compared to who we played against Washington, but we've played against pressure this year, especially in our league with Harvard. So it's a similar team in that way, but I mean, we have the best coaching staff in the country. So, when we trust in them and we execute that game plan, there's very few people who could beat us. So I think we're just focused on the preparation right now and, locking in, especially against that pressure that West Virginia has.
Kitty, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, this is just what you prepare for all year. I mean, this is why you do ball handling every day. This is why you do all the little details. I think we're ready for it, and we just have to trust our work.
Anyone else in the room?
Hi, Cody Nesper, West Virginia Sports Now. So this week leading up to this, do you spend any time on West Virginia, or was it all Washington, and now just in the last night and today it's West Virginia?
Perry, why don't you go ahead and start?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely just focused on Washington for sure. It's easy to just look ahead and see what your new further opponents will be, but then you get lost in who your next opponent is. So we definitely locked in on Washington, and now we're on to the next thing.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I think our coaches obviously looked ahead and saw them, but I think for us it was just such a quick turnaround that we had to focus more on Washington first as step one, and then now we're locked in on West Virginia.
We do have a couple of questions on Zoom. We'll go ahead and take those. Steve Silverman, why don't you go ahead, identify yourself, and go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Steve Silverman from Ivy Hoops Online. First, congrats, you guys, on the great win yesterday. And, you guys have been talking a little bit about, the pride that you're getting from your own Columbia community there. But I wonder also if you guys have any sense of sort of carrying the banner for the Ivy League as a whole. Anytime the Ivy League gets a win in the NCAA tournament, it's a really big deal. So do you guys carry that banner to some extent?
Kitty, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit, definitely. I think you're playing for Columbia. I mean, obviously that's the thing that's kind of in your heart while you're playing, but I think you're playing for something bigger than yourself as well. So, I mean, I think the Ivy League, we're playing for them. We're also playing for all our community. I think it definitely means more than just, our team, but at the end of the day, I'm always so proud of the name across our chest.
CC, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kitty said it really well. We're also just very proud to be a part of this league. To get those 3 bids to the tournament for the first time ever, we were super grateful. And like we said, a few days ago, we wanted to, we're supposed to be here. All three teams are supposed to be here. So I think getting that first tournament win for our team is like super important. And obviously we were just grateful that we were able to be in that position in the first place.
All right, we'll go to Jen Hatfield on the Zoom. Jen, go ahead.
Hey everybody, Jen Hadfield from the Next. For all of you guys, I know this NCAA tournament win was a long time coming as far as, something you guys had dreamed about and planned toward. And I'm curious, after the buzzer went off, when you were able to celebrate it, did it feel like you imagined it would when you visualized it or when you dreamed about it?
Perry, why don't you start?
Absolutely. We talk about and do a lot of visualization before the game starts too, and then just like envisioning yourself in those moments. A lot of reps, we talk about like mental reps, and then like being able to like feel it before it happens. So it was definitely surreal to understand like how it happened after the game once that buzzer sounded.
Kitty, you want to follow?
Yeah, I mean, I think also just the way that it happened, I mean, fighting back from 13 points down at half, like knowing we weren't giving it our best, I think, once the buzzer sounded, it felt great, honestly. Like, it was really fun to celebrate with my team, people who work so hard every single day together, and yeah, it's definitely exactly how we imagined it.
We've got one in the room. Go ahead.
Daniel Woods, WV Metro News. Perry, with your dad's background at Pitt, has there been any kind of conversation about playing WVU and his experiences against the Mountaineers?
Yeah, obviously the Pitt versus WVU is a very rivalry backyard brawl matchup, so I'm very excited. I've never played WVU before, and I'm really excited to have this matchup coming up.
We'll go back to Zoom. Rob Brown, go ahead.
Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. CCU had mentioned that not only do you all play a really strong press, but you faced Harvard. What makes West Virginia's press different?
Yeah, I mean, they're just a really scrappy team in general, super physical. They'll go for a ton of steals, especially when they press you in the full court. So I think they're different in that way. I don't think Harvard's as aggressive. But, they're a very good team. They're very well coached. And we just have to be disciplined, work. Kitty said it a bunch, but, we've worked on our ball handling all season, passing, and it just comes down to being disciplined in that way. And, shot fakes, ball fakes, will help alleviate some of that pressure.
Rob, did you have another one you wanted? We'll bring it back into the room.
Sure. Oh, no. Well, I'm here. Thanks.
Oh, here you go.
Kitty and Perry, how much do the Ivy League back-to-backs and the non-conference tournaments that you've played over the years, get you ready for playing 2 or 3 games in a short period of time?
Kitty, you can start.
Yeah. No, I think, everything builds up to this. Like, it prepares you so well. We've had so many games where it's either been, like, the very next day or we've had one day in between. So I think we feel really prepared. Obviously recovery was really important last night and today, but yeah, we're ready to go. Our whole schedule is what kind of prepared us for this moment. So yeah.
Perry, go ahead.
All good.
You good?
She said it well.
All right, we'll go down here to the middle.
Lance Meadow, GoColumbiaLions.com. Ladies, really all three, the point differential in the third quarter this season has been extremely impressive, and clearly it was a turning point yesterday. Why has things clicked so well in the third quarter, regardless of the circumstances of a game?
CC, go ahead and start.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like the adjustments coming out of halftime, especially yesterday. We knew that first half wasn't good enough. Obviously, we want to work at, better starts, obviously in the first quarter, second quarter, first half in general. But I thought we had great adjustments coming out of half, and I think we also had an overall great response. We were very, like Kitty said, very outcome-oriented, outcome-driven in the first half, and I think we kind of pushed that to the side in the second half and, really trusted the game plan and trusted what we were doing. And we always say dominate the next decision, dominate the next play. So I thought that was really our mindset in the second half.
Anything else in the room for the ladies? Anything else on Zoom? Yep. Madeline Kenny, coming to you.
Hi, just a question for Cece, and I'm sorry if you already asked this. I kind of got late onto the Zoom, but just seeing Riley and the way that she's grown over the last 2 years. Just what have you thought about her progress, and what do you think is her potential?
I mean, Riley isn't even close to reaching her full potential. She's just such an amazing player, an amazing person, and it's been great even to just, I feel like I've kind of just grown alongside Riley coming in as a transfer, and she can just be so good. And I think sometimes we joke about it, I don't even think she knows how good she can be, but yeah, her growth has just been insane over these past 2 years, and I'm just so excited to see how much more she grows. And yeah, we're so proud of her for these past 2 years, but we also see how much more she can grow, like I said, and the potential that she has is definitely there. So.